What this is an operation that we have been working on for several months. The vast majority of it is targeting the heroin dealers in our county, and it is spread out across our county from one end to the other that we've been working on. We've been able to, at this point, we have right at 80 people that we're going after over a period of time. The operation is called You're Next, meaning that if you are involved in dealing heroin in this county, you are next to be arrested. You know, it's very disturbing what we're seeing with this trend of heroin, and we're finding that it's not just isolated to Butler County. It's a regional thing, and it affects many parts of this state as well as the country. We're working closely with our neighbors to make sure that we maximize our resources to bring these people to justice, because it's killing people. We've had 15 heroin-related deaths in our county this year. Shoot-up heroin driving down the road, shoot-up heroin in grocery stores, walking down aisles, in parking lots. It is just out of hand, out of control, and it's something that we need the community's support on. We need you to report any suspicious activity. We need you to be mindful of what's going on in your neighborhoods. A lot of the people that we've been able to get on this operation was a direct result of the community providing us with information about suspicious activity and ultimately leading to securing warrants on them. We have a lot of dealers. A lot of these dealers are users as well. They're dealing to support their habit. So you have a lot of people that are dealing and using, and these people will never be able to break the cycle unless they get treatment. And unfortunately, the treatment provided throughout the state is, it's privatized now. It's very expensive. A lot of people can't afford it, and many times they are unable to get that treatment that they need to be able to manage that addiction and break that cycle. And it creates a revolving door within the justice system that is not really helping the problem at all with regards to the users. And with the dealers, we're going to lock up every single one of them without hesitation. And I hope that our district attorney's office can get the very maximum penalty each and every time for the dealers. But the users is something that we as a society and as a state will have to address much sooner than later in order to get a handle on this issue. And it's not, with regards to the users, it's not a problem that you can arrest away. And I want people to understand that. It's killing people. They don't have anywhere to turn many times. They do want help. And with the limited options we have, we certainly try to steer them in that direction. But it's something that is extremely important to us, and it's something that we want the public to continue to be vigilant about and continue to assist us in making the difference. And also, if you have people that are family members or friends or neighbors that you know or suspect to be involved with drug use, you got to step up and take some responsibility and get them either help or get it reported so we can get them on the right track. But turning a blind eye or pretending like the problem doesn't exist is not helping anybody. It's just making matters worse. Yeah. It is a major issue. It's a common thing, unfortunately. We see it all too often now. And people that are addicted to heroin, these people that have to have it almost constantly, they're going and shooting up, and they're trying to find their next fix. It's just one thing right after another. We're finding used needles discarded in cemeteries in our county where people can't even walk and visit the gravesites of loved ones without being in fear of being stuck by a needle. So it is epidemic proportions in this region, and it's something that as I said, we've got to have the public's help, our community coming together to deal with this. And we can't hit it from just one approach. As I said earlier, we do education in our schools, and we do the enforcement end of it. But until we get the rehabilitation end of it, the treatment aspect of it in place, we are never going to make a real difference with the drug trade. And when heroin is no longer the drug of choice and they move on to something else, we're still faced with that underlying issue. People that are addicted need help. They need to be able to break that addiction, that cycle of addiction. And the only way to do that is with professional treatment. It's only until they get into a program where they can really make a difference and lead a productive life. And that's what we want. We don't want to fill our prisons full of people that are addicted to things, whatever the issue might be. You know, the people that are pushing it and preying on these people, their weakness, that's the ones we want to lock up. And I hope they never get out, because they've demonstrated, many of these people that you see have demonstrated time and again that they don't care, that they will do whatever it takes to put the money in their pocket. That's their addiction, the money. And they'll prey on anybody to get it. And that's the ones that we want to see go away. But the ones that are addicted, we want to see get into treatment. You know, we have the new funding for our drug treatment course over here. It's something that we're very excited about, and we hope can make a difference, even if it's in a small way. If it helps one or two, it's better than the alternative of doing nothing. And that's exactly, we've got to start taking those steps to start making a difference when it comes to treatment and rehabilitation. Fortunately, the commissioners this past budget year give us 2 drug positions and recently added a 3rd drug position. So that has allowed us to be in partnership with them once again and have dedicated personnel working closely with them, because that's the only way we're going to really make a difference with the way many of these dealers operate. They may live in one area, operate in another area, and crossing those jurisdictional boundaries makes it difficult for law enforcement unless you're working together, putting the resources together, and maximizing those efforts, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are focusing all of our efforts right now on this heroin issue. Well, one of the things is how the potency of heroin now compared to what it was many years ago when it was very popular then. Now it's extremely powerful. People in certain areas will cut it more than other areas. So where people are accustomed to going to a certain dealer, getting a certain number of bags and shooting those up within a short period of time, that dealer may be arrested or something happened. They go to another dealer in another area and they don't realize it. They're getting a much stronger version of heroin. Then they shoot up the same number of bags, they overdose, they're dead. And it's unfortunately, it's that part of that leading to how this is. Plus, heroin is extremely addictive. And people turning to this as, their escape. That's what they're looking for. I mean, people, you know why they turn to this many times. It's an escape of whatever going on in their life. And, when they turn to this, it gets a hold on them that it's unfortunate that, like I said earlier, unless they get professional treatment, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to break this cycle unless they end up dying. And we are tired of seeing people die in our county. And I know there's many families that are suffering from, the loss of a loved one due to an overdose. And it's just so disheartening because many times they wanted help, there was no place to turn to. But as I said, you cannot arrest away this problem. We could arrest every single dealer in this county today, and the people that are addicted will still be going other places and getting the drug, getting the heroin, and shooting up. So until we get these people that are addicted help, we're not going to make a true difference in this situation. And that's why you're going to hear me say that over and over. I'm sure that The chief and sheriff over in New Hanover will both echo what I'm saying, and it's something that the Sheriff's Association is working on as well across the state. So this is just a very small number that you see right here. So the rest of them that are out there, rest assured we're coming out. When this operation is over with, that does not mean that our investigations are over with. We're going to continue to work extremely hard at finding, locating the dealers, targeting those dealers, and getting them off the streets. 88, Chris Thomas with us, and he's the one that really is the driving force behind getting all these people prosecuted and does a fantastic job.
The best thing they can do is pull up stakes, because it's not if they're going to get arrested, they're getting arrested, they're going to be prosecuted. With respect to how it affects us in relation to other crimes, Brunswick County, we're very fortunate that not a whole lot of homicides happen down here, and our main two focuses from the district attorney's offices now are sex offenses and heroin. And heroin in this county has taken more lives than any other drug that I've seen. If you can compare it to the crack epidemic, it causes so much more mayhem and problems with the community, with police officers in general. With a crack addict, these guys don't search a crack addict and get stuck by it. You don't have to go home and explain to their wives, sorry, honey, probably can't kiss you for the next 6 months. They complete all the tests. I know people that have gone through heroin addiction, recovered, and are now productive members of our community, yet they're still going to die young from the cirrhosis that they contracted because they have hepatitis C from sharing needles, HIV, all these other problems that go along with it. Never in my 18 years did I ever run across a high school crack addict. And we have young people that for some reason have an affinity to this drug. I suspect it's because it can be used in so many different ways. They snort it, they put it in Visine bottles, they drop it in their eyes, they roll it in toilet paper and insert rectally, they smoke it off tinfoil. All these crazy things that they come up with to ingest this drug. And what they don't realize is, even though they're not using a needle, they're getting just as addicted. It just takes a little longer. And we have had people that have snorted heroin once and died. Like the sheriff told you, the heroin here is different. If you're from California, they use black tar heroin. We don't have that here. It's very prevalent there. It's 40 to 50%. Our heroin here is 90%. It's very dangerous. We have people that go through recovery, get off heroin, like the sheriff said, they go shoot up once and that's it. Someone's mom finds their son on the toilet dead. It's just a bad drug. There's no good drug, but heroin in itself brings a particular set of problems that we don't see. And we've committed that if you sell heroin in Brunswick County, regardless of your prior circumstance, your criminal record, you are going to jail. If you are charged with trafficking and I convict you of trafficking, if the district attorney's office achieves a trafficking conviction, you are going to get the minimum mandatory penalty for trafficking. And that's a commitment that we've made with our partnership with the Sheriff's Department and the community, that it's going to be a top priority when we're talking about people that are dealing heroin in Brunswick County. The legislature has made it very difficult for us to put people in jail anymore. It's gotten, for those of you that aren't familiar with structured sentencing, your first 3 felony convictions for possession of heroin, the judge cannot send you to prison if she wants to or he wants to. It's impossible. It's got to be that 4th conviction for possession. When you're talking about possession with intent to manufacture, which is a Class H felony, or sale of heroin, which is a Class G, you have the option to go to prison, but it's within the court's discretion or it's something that's going to be negotiated. Here in Brunswick County, if you get convicted if you get charged with sale of heroin and possession with intent, even if you plead to the lesser included possession with intent, it will be required as part of that plea agreement that you go to jail. If you sell heroin, you're going to jail in Brunswick County. Trafficking is a whole different animal. If you possess as little as 4 grams of heroin, somewhere between 250 bags generally gets up there, it's a minimum mandatory sentence of 70 months. Judge has no discretion, and a $50,000 fine. The top level trafficking is 28 grams, and it's a minimum mandatory sentence of 225 months, about 19 and a half years. And I'm not sure what the fine is, but that's a minimum mandatory. The penalties for top-level trafficking cocaine are twice that of second-degree murder because of the damage it does to our community. And that's something the legislator has delineated. But we take those seriously. What the Sheriff's Department does for our office is identifying these folks from the ground up, and then they're targeting the traffickers and the dealers, and it makes us more effective at what we do and we prosecute the traffickers, because when they bring me a trafficking case, it's not if that person's going to be eradicated from the community, they're going. And the attorneys know it, the defendants know it. If you get charged with trafficking, you're not going to get less than the minimum amount if I can prove my case.